Hey everyone, welcome to my channel, The Mondesir Critique. I'm Pascal, and in today's video, I'm going to be reviewing the surprisingly good rom-com, Anyone But You, starring Glen Powell and Sydney Sweeney. I say surprising because I had pretty low expectations of this movie going into it, and I can honestly say it exceeded my expectations, even if all of it didn't work for me. Let's dig in. Anyone But You follows a reluctant law student named B and a finance bro named Ben who have a really, awesome meet cute in a cafe that turns into a really long, great date that means a lot to both of them. But thanks to insecurities on both ends, their dates and their feelings end on a sour note for each other. Yet they're forced to be in close proximity again for a weekend because B's sister is marrying Ben's good friend. Since their bickering is getting on everyone's nerves and to make their exes who also happen to be at this wedding jealous, those two pretend to date. Guys, I have to say I really enjoyed Anyone But You, though I really didn't expect to. And I gotta say that the movie really got to me. There is a lot of charm, though a bit uneven, and there's a lot of fun here to make it a fun and worthwhile trip to the theaters. First of all, Glen Powell. My dude, I was unfamiliar with your game. He is the MVP of this movie for sure. There is a confidence and leading man assurance that exudes from him that made it great to watch on screen. Ben is a golden retriever, goofy, yet insecure guy who has been burned by relationships a lot. And Glen really leans into that character and does a good job, bringing this person to life. Glen definitely needs to lead the charge in Hollywood for rom-coms to make a big comeback because I think it would make him a bona fide movie star, even though I don't think he is one yet. And I'll get back to that later. It's a good addition to the rom-com genre, though not one of its best, mainly because it does seem to take too much from other rom-com movie tropes, and it doesn't do enough to stand on its own. The main bit of the movie is that the other guests at this wedding need to make B and Ben unwittingly star in a rom-com scenario to have peace at the wedding. And this is how they're getting away with doing a paint-by-numbers film here. It doesn't read as smart and self-aware to me, but rather a bit safe and tongue-in-cheek. But what can I say? I like comfort movies when it comes to rom-coms. I don't mind that it stayed true to form, and I enjoyed Glen's performance and the supporting cast, and that's really all I need. The only issues I had were with the script and not getting enough from Sydney's performance. Just as I mentioned before, the script was pretty much the skeleton of great rom-com films and books that came before it. And don't get me wrong, there are some genuinely funny lines. I did laugh out loud multiple times, but honestly, read enough fake dating enemies to lovers books and you could have written the script yourself. It was fine to me that they acknowledged that they didn't reinvent the wheel, but I wish the dialogue was a bit stronger. There's also an issue of B's ex-fiance being at this wedding and in this movie that I don't think really fits. Also, this movie is lacking the scene needed in all rom-coms. The big scene where one half of the couple makes this big declaration of love and it's swooning and music is swelling and it's well lit and maybe the other one is crying. It's just not really there in this movie. There's kind of a bit of that at the end, but it was nowhere near big enough.
I hate it when you make me laugh. Even worse when you make me cry. I hate it when you're not around and the fact that you didn't call. But mostly I hate the way I don't hate you. Not even close. Not even a little bit. Not even at all.
Sydney Sweeney was really good in this, but I don't think she's shown enough in this movie. Like, you're the leading lady. Each scene should be yours to steal, but she didn't. Her character is, reluctant to study law, and she has a broken engagement, and her parents keep meddling in her life. But these are all things that are happening to her, and she's not making anything happen. To me, she didn't reach the heights of charm, effort, and commitment to the bit, the way Julia Roberts, Sandra Bullock, Jennifer Aniston, Katherine Heigl, Meg Ryan, and co. did in the past that made them bona fide rom-com queens. There's this one scene where Ben's ex-girlfriend Margaret sees how well Ben and B are getting along, and she makes this like hilarious, goofy, spot-on face where her eyes are super wide, and she was in the middle of taking a sip of a drink, so her mouth is also really full and puffed up. And it's just so funny and perfectly encapsulates how jealous and panicky she's feeling in that moment. And I'm like, Sydney, why did you let like a supporting character show you up like that? Like, where's her rom-com, you know? Also, there were moments where they were attempting to make Sydney's character be goofy, but she was just not really committing to it. She was trying to perform goofiness, but she wasn't actually goofy. I can see right through it. I do think she could be great in this lane one day, maybe, but it was just really lacking here for me. One character even calls her out on how much she mumbles in this movie, and sure, maybe that was a purposeful acting decision on Sydney's part, but it honestly didn't work. I also want to do a little side quest here and discuss the term movie star. I saw quite a few critics call Glenn and Sydney movie stars, and I scratched my head each time I saw it. Has this phrase changed its meaning? What's the definition of a movie star? Because to me, I believe a movie star is an actor that has garnered up enough goodwill and love from moviegoers thanks to their multiple, well-received performances that people from all demographics will flock to a movie simply because that actor or actress is in it. That star is bankable. The studios will hang their hat on their ability to sell a movie for any sort of genre. Their box office success is always a guarantee. Glenn and Sid are great, but that does not describe them at all to me. And I don't mean that insultingly. It's just that they're both still hustling in their careers, so I don't get the idea of labeling them as movie stars right now. And streaming makes it really hard for actors to really stand out. Glenn doesn't have that many blockbusters in his filmography, and he usually does not lead in them. I hear he's wonderful in this movie called The Hitman that is coming soon to Netflix this year, but I haven't seen it yet, and again, that's just gonna sit on Netflix, so that still lessens the amount of people that will see him on the big screen. The same with Sydney. She is known for 2 well-liked television series that she stars in, but she does not lead. I know that she received critical acclaim for her HBO movie Reality, but one well-received performance does not a movie star make. Again, to me, it's just hard for a singular, universally liked star to rise right now with the invention of countless of shows and movies on countless of streaming sites. There are no less than like 1,000 social media fan pages for an obscure actor on a Netflix movie or TV show that most people will never get around to seeing. And I'm like, does that make them a movie star? I don't know. I don't actually know what a movie star looks like in this age, but I also don't think it's those two just yet. But back to this movie. Anyone But You is not perfect. The script and some performances could definitely stand to shine a lot more, but it was a comforting and ultimately delightful watch. It's rated R instead of PG-13 like most rom-coms, so be prepared for that, but it's still a good time. But I really recommend it. It's short and sweet, and I think it's a really good comfort watch if you want to catch a movie on the weekends or even on a weekday. And that is the Mondesir critique. Please like and subscribe to my channel, and I will see you guys later.